new release 11.0 this time. So as you guys know, we roll out these releases on a regular schedule, and this one is, I think, is a pretty big one though. So yeah, let's get started. I will share my screen just in a bit. We have quite a lot of stuff to cover. Maybe drop a little, guys, where you're from, and in the chat function. That would be nice. Awesome. Thanks, guys. I have someone from the US, UK, United Arab Emirates, Belgium. Nice. Hi, guys. All right. Then I just almost forgot to introduce myself. So my name is York, like the city, York in the UK or New York in the US, and I work as product marketing manager in NinjaOne. And yeah, today we will have a look at 11.0. Here is actually the release schedule. So in the European Union, so most of the people here typically, so we will promote this webinar for EMEA users. So it was already released a couple of weeks ago, November 19th. And in the North America is really fresh. So everyone that is from North America should already see it actually today. Well, I think it's even rolled out. I don't know exactly at what time, but yeah, as you can see today. What are the highlights of this new release? There are a couple of updates as usual on the core functionality, endpoint management. A couple of new scripts that we added. As you guys know, we are huge fans of automations, and we are building out since a year roughly our template library, and we are adding constantly, or with every release cycle, we add new PowerShell scripts that are developed and curated from our in-house scripting team that is actually also managed by by Mark Giordano, who used to work in an MSP himself, who was responsible for automations in a bigger MSP. And yeah, we are therefore have great experience in that area and try to really use automations that come from the real world. And also from the community, of course. So from you guys. So if you have ideas, if you are in the Discord channel, etc., you can see the script share community, and you can also make suggestions yourself. Exactly. Yeah, Q&A section also. I forgot to mention that in the beginning. So if you have technical questions, write them in the Q&A section. So also in case I cannot answer them myself maybe, or if we don't have the time to answer them, then we have them in written form, more easily digestible for us. So then your account managers can maybe get back to you with the answers to these questions. Yeah, anyways, a couple of other new core improvements is a small granularity in the automation execution, namely the possibility to only run, not run an update, but only run an automation. That's actually very useful because, as you guys know, Ninja's automations have, for example, the dynamic variables, and advanced scripters, they build scripts, right? So that first line support people can use these scripts and, for example, work with the dynamic variables and so on. But you don't want to update those first level support people. You don't want them to update the scripts, right? So now there's this just view and run option. I will show you in the dashboard later on. Yeah, long-term data retention that has been in development quite a long time. So now in GA, and yeah, that has been sought after for many, many years. So I've been a while with Ninja, and I remember already several years ago. So we are extremely, and me personally, I'm also very excited about this long-term data retention. I think that's extremely useful for troubleshooting. Microsoft Intune integration. We also had the dedicated webinar recently. OS deployment is also a big one, a whole new module, I would call it. It's not a product because like we don't sell it as such. You can use it, but yeah, it's not just a simple little feature. It's a module, I would say, a component. What else? SaaS backup. So Entra ID backup, and most importantly, bring your own Dropsuite. So this is interesting if you're maybe not yet a Ninja partner, but you already have Dropsuite, then you can bring your own license and integrate that easily and seamlessly into NinjaOne. Then we have vulnerability management. So we have some improvements, adding also third-party applications to the dashboards, and also linking third-party application vulnerabilities to NinjaOne remediations, to NinjaOne patch remediations. Before we used to have this only for OS, Windows OS vulnerabilities. So now we include the third-party applications as well. Custom fields. This is a bit of a very technical improvement, but it's very useful for scripters and automation, advanced automation specialists, because yeah, it's more easy. We will have a look in the dashboard, but you can inherit basically from organization custom fields, for example, to the device level, and data will also populate automatically the custom fields, etc. So it makes the experience more seamless. Android MDM enrollment profiles. We already had a dedicated webinar on this as well, so we're going to have a quick look at that. Some ticketing enhancements, some item enhancements. Actually, I forgot here on the agenda, and PSA enhancements for the MSPs out there in the audience. So by my experience, we already have like 50-50 in the webinar, so 50% MSPs and 50% internal IT departments in these webinars that we organize. And boot verification, super nice feature, as of now, early access. So boot verification basically tests if your backed up image is bootable, etc., which is obviously a super interesting layer in for compliance reasons, and also for your disaster recovery exercises, that you can just be assured if there is anything happening, anything serious, that you can easily get up to speed and get your systems up again without paying any ransom. Now, of course, that's important. That's the whole purpose of the exercise. Yeah, that's what we want to cover. A quick overlook about the features that we have covered so far. So here, and this is just a kind of a selection, and we can see how diligent and how hardworking and how just awesome and great our developer teams are. They really push out these features at a cadence that, yeah, it becomes an entire job to follow on the new features rolled out. So they do a great job, really amazing job. And they're a global team also. We have them in the US and South America and Europe. So yeah, just an awesome team. Of course, also the people from support, the people from Q&A, from quality, from testing. Yeah, so all these teams just do a phenomenal job. Ninja Remote is one of the big ones. We released this year an entire product. We have NinjaOne Remote as a standalone also now. It's possible. We have the Quick Connect module for ad hoc connections, similar to Quick Support and TeamViewer, that I think everyone here in the audience knows. Then we added also the feature background mode to our NinjaOne Remote solution. So just basically the possibility to do changes, look at the registry, look at the CMD, like kill a process or whatever, run automations, etc., on the machine in background mode. You can also do several of these things from the Ninja device, obviously. But yeah, if you see the screen in background mode, it might be easier if you want to have that live feedback. The vulnerability importer, so the possibility to import vulnerabilities, autonomous patch management, so AI-assisted patch evaluation of every patch. macOS MDM, a huge one, also almost an entire product, so you can really seamlessly and very efficiently manage a macOS fleet, right? Not just the mobile devices, but also the MacBooks with Apple Business Manager, with Zero Touch, out of the box experience, and so on. So very streamlined, very efficient with declarative patching. So the new, more sophisticated patching by Apple, etc. Then integrations with Fresh Service, ServiceNow, also Halo PSA, by the way. I should be adding this here as well. Warranty tracking, compound conditions. So compound conditions is stacking several conditions together and just fine-tuning your targeting in your automations by just creating logical operators like these three conditions must be met, and only in this case I will run my automation and I will just target very specific groups of devices. Yeah. So compound conditions are, yeah, a bit technical, not like the flashy kind of new product, but very, very useful, especially for more advanced users, in my opinion. Yeah, iOS, iPadOS patching. So I already mentioned that also with macOS MDM. So we do the declarative patching, file transfer automations. I mean, you could do this earlier in Ninja also, but now we have this automation interface for file transfers, which is much more easy to use and yeah, just makes the experience smoother. Custom field tabs to better organize all your custom fields. It can get a bit messy if you have dozens of custom fields and just have them all in one long list. So custom field tabs just allows you to create several folders of custom fields in a way. IT asset management, item. So here just without going into the details, but also an entire new product that is here in the making, actually. Yeah, template library updates, patch caching for people that want to be mindful of their bandwidth. You know, if you are in a rural area, if you're in the Bible Belt in the US. I remember in high school we studied that term Bible Belt. Yeah, so or if you are, I don't know, somewhere in the deepest corner of northeast Germany, or I don't know, but yeah, maybe you have bandwidth concerns. So patch caching will make your experience for patch management and for patch deployment much more much better. And then, of course, Dropsuite now. So SaaS backup, NinjaOne offers its own SaaS backup through our Dropsuite acquisition. And yeah, we are advancing in big strides on the integration as well into Ninja. So here the experience is already really seamless. I think that's fair to say. So now we're gonna jump into the demo. One second. Just want to make sure that where do I have my NinjaOne account? Sorry, I think I accidentally, unfortunately, deleted all my tabs right at the start of the webinar. So now I need to open that again. That happens. One second. Right. Okay, so we got, this is the screen number 3. So here everyone should be seeing my NinjaOne account. I go into administration. Let's start with the core improvements that I mentioned in the beginning. Uh, I saw Matt. We have a gigabit in the Bible Belt. That's great. Um, Anyways, so let's so yeah, sorry for that. I don't mean to offend anyone with that. So that was really that came from a positive place. So that's why I also said, of course, there are always areas in Germany the most. So I come from Germany. We even in Berlin, in the capital of Germany, we sometimes and some you can have a bad internet connection. And actually, this also, just as a little side note, this feature, the patch caching, was requested, matter of fact, a lot by German customers. So yeah, no offense to the no offense to the US users. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, let's start with the automation updates. Let's go here into library automations here into template library. This is where 308. So the last batch, we have a couple of nice scripts. You can always like filter them here, right? So here you see December 1st was the last bigger batch of new. They're not exactly released with the release dates, so like around the release dates typically. So what do we have here? For example, install PowerShell 7, right? Yeah, this gets more widely used, right? So that's why we added it as a script, so you can more easily deploy PowerShell 7. So we have that for Linux, but also for Windows, of course. Yeah, another one. Now, we love to take this example with the Windows 10 migration, right? So here we have a script that checks if you have the license for the ESU security updates for Windows 10. If you continue to use Windows 10, then of course you need to be careful that you get the security updates. And yeah, this is an additional service. I don't need to explain this to you guys. So very useful script here. Also directly in our templates, we have here the custom fields built in. You can also set a tag, eligibility tag, set an ineligibility tag. So this is using the tag functionality in NinjaOne. So yeah, you can just use these tags in creating groups or running automations, whatever you need. Or also the enrollment status of course, is your Windows 10 fleet enrolled into your ESU program. So this is probably, I think, one of the biggest scripts here, and maybe one of the most important scripts here in this batch. Then you also see here like system restore, check status, create a restore point report. These are actually scripts that we already had before. We just made some improvements, or we corrected some bugs. Yeah, then we also have one which I hear is very popular actually in the community. So that's what I understood. Is this management manage Dell command updates. Yeah. So also it uses here a WYSIWYG custom field, multi-line custom field. So everything is built in a way that you can easily directly leverage the custom field functionality. You just need to go into Ninja and create these custom fields, give them the name, and then maybe like tweak the script slightly to match the custom field names, etc. or you just take the suggested ones. Usually in the descriptions, there are already suggested custom field names. Yeah, I think at some point in the future, this will be all automated when we all lose our jobs because of AI. No, but that I think in the not near future, but at some point, Ninja will even like automatically create these custom fields for you when you run these automations. So yeah, looking forward to that. That's going to be even more user friendly. Yeah, but I think the hardcore people that love automating, it's for me, it's a bit like driving cars, like we all have automatic driving now. But I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I personally still like to drive cars with the gears, where you have to change the gears and so on. Um, yeah. Yeah, here was mentioned in the chat also Sophos integration. I think like Ninja does not have a Sophos integration by default. I think you can already see that in the in the chat conversation. But I think on the website of Sophos they provide a PowerShell script actually that can be used by that you can just download from their support site. So that makes the experience easier. All right. Yeah, then the user permissions, that was the next one I wanted to show. So we have since I think roughly 2 years probably like this very granular role-based access management with technician roles, and obviously automations are a big part of NinjaOne. We have that automation library we continue to develop. So let me just go here into a level 1 technician role, right? So this is what I mentioned in my introduction as well. So here we have automation library. So basically, yeah, here you have now this, yeah, here I have a wider, so this is not the best example. I have too wide of an axis, so that's why it's grayed out. But yeah, you can, of course, change the configuration in a way that here you will see this view run and not just a view run update. So it seems like a small difference, right? But it's actually from a security point of view, it's a big one, because you don't want the more inexperienced people to mess around with scripts and so on. So if they can view the source codes, maybe it's interesting for educational purposes. But yeah, the idea is that they just run the scripts that the more advanced senior engineers, network engineers, system engineers are providing, right? So that's the idea. Seems like a small one, but yeah, it's still important. Yeah, then one thing which has been criticized also on a quite regular basis, I would say, is the reporting. So now we make that much smoother, right? So where's the reporting? You have the possibility now to create reports with custom data tables. What does that mean? That means that you can create a report. I'm just gonna create a. Just gonna call that York tests reports. So I want to have that global. Just gonna take the regular report outline. I'll just keep that private. Yeah, here we have the outline. You can customize this now. And here you have this wonderful custom data table. So here, let's say, okay, York, I'm just gonna take warranty as an example. So I can just take anything. You guys get the idea. From the device search, so I need to select that, obviously. I forgot to select it. So here I can, as in the NinjaOne device search grid, as you guys know, I do that. And then here below, I can add the columns I want to see. All right. So here I want to see the warranty start date. I want to see the warranty end date. And I want to see, do we have Mac OS? I want to see the MAC address. I don't know, like whatever. Um, and yeah, I add this. I apply this. And let's save that. And then we can actually, here we have the report. So this is all the standard, you know, that is provided by NinjaOne out of the box, right? So I'm just gonna scroll to the bottom. And at the bottom now, we see our custom report table. I think this seems like this is a very useful improvement because these reports, of course, before you could export them as CSV, right? But CSV is not always so nice, you know, if you want to share something quickly with a customer, maybe one of the sales or marketing colleagues in your organization, they need something, or the colleagues from compliance. You know, there can be all kinds of scenarios that you can imagine. And yeah, just being able to have like these nice table overviews here and customize them based on your based on your needs, I think that's very, very neat. And of course, we will also continue to make this even better when we will also even add more dashboarding, etc., further down the line. But this here is already a really nice step, I think. All right. So what else? So this is the reporting, the Intune integration. This is the next one, also a big one. I think it's a starting point. So it's not the final result in a way. But now we have our first Intune integration as a NGA. How does that work? That works actually. First, you need to go to administration, apps, install apps. You add it from here. In my case, I already have it added in here. So you go to your jobs. You can create a job. And yeah, actually, it's interesting if I'm just going to call that York deployment. So now I can take Herrera Technology. So I can select the organization. I can select the San Francisco. I like San Francisco. I can select the location, and then so I'm not going to deploy any agents here right now. But obviously, you can deploy the agent. So this is an ad hoc discovery. You can deploy the agent, and yeah, we can see if I can here connect actually my account. It's probably already connected it to another environment, so that's probably not possible to connect to several environments, which makes sense. Or just curious if I re-authenticate my little test account here. Yeah, here you see the permissions. Little side note on that, we have quite a lot of read permissions. So like, don't get freaked out. So it's only read permissions, and the idea is also, but this is also interesting. So you guys can take a look at that when you test it out for yourself. But this gives you an idea, like further down the line, what might be coming in terms of features and so on. But because of course we're not going to stop there with our Intune integration. We're going to continue. So every release you will, I guess, or every other release we'll see. We will see some small improvements on the Intune integration. Okay, maybe that was possible actually. Okay, I can link it to several accounts. Okay, that's good to know. I haven't tested that. So yeah, you can link the Intune discovery to several Ninja accounts. So if you're an internal IT company, department, and you have two MSPs, they can both connect to your Intune and do something. As you can see here, we go by groups. So like the deployment and the discovery is actually based on groups. And the groups in Intune are either static or dynamic. And the fact that they are dynamic, you can match them also, yeah, maybe with dynamic groups in Ninja and so on. That just avoids a lot of this kind of design decision, avoids having to potentially redeploy or rediscover devices manually. So I think that was smart to leverage the groups, the AD, the Entra AD groups from Intune or from Microsoft 365. Yeah, and let's go back to the dashboard. Like one thing that I'm also like very excited about, I have to say, because I think this is just super useful, especially if you are a managed service provider, in my opinion, is the possibility to actually consolidate, have a consolidated overview on all the discovered devices. So we're not gonna, so this is, I think, an early access. So we're gonna add in 12.0, so the next release, we're gonna add this automatic device discovery over the network. So using WMI and I don't know, like MAC addresses, and I don't know exactly how it works under the hood, but like different parameters. So that's huge. And also your Intune discovered devices, they appear here as well. Yeah, you can filter yeah, unmanaged devices. You can also discover unmanaged devices, for example, through Intune. And then maybe as I did earlier, I didn't tick the box deploy NinjaOne agent. So this could be the scenario. And then you can still see the devices in Ninja. They will be just listed as unmanaged devices. Yeah, let's take here a device. What is also very useful for the Intune integration is actually this more detailed information here on the device details section. So here we see discovered through Intune discovery. And here you have the direct link to Intune. So obviously this is not my 365 account. So unfortunately I cannot like click here and show this to you. But I think it's very useful. You have the direct link in here. Yeah, compliance status, device owner, last check-in, enrollment status, date. So really, really useful. Also having the link, I think, is very useful. Before, yeah, people might have used the SIP integration, but yeah, this is also, the SIP integration is great. I love it. I think it's a great tool. For the people that don't know, the SIP is an open source tool that allows you to manage Microsoft 365 accounts from different tenants and so on, especially useful for managed service providers. And we integrate with that. Yeah, but now I think, especially for internal IT people, the SIP integration might not be so interesting or so relevant. So the Intune, our own Intune integration makes this much more seamless, this experience. Yeah, what else? Another one, I already mentioned that myself also on prior webinars, but still also personally very excited about that because from my sales days, I remember well how many people were requesting this feature. The long-term data retention. Long-term data retention, you can basically go back up to 90 days in the past and yeah, see the behavior, etc. So in troubleshooting, extremely useful. And you have that not only for CPU, but also for memory usage, for disk volume. You can go back in time. For the network adapter traffic, you can go back in time. So yeah, think extremely useful. I mean, it's easy to say, but difficult to develop. So very excited. What guys do you think about that? Are you guys use this type of feature? Maybe write it in the chat function would be interesting if you do troubleshooting. Yeah, okay. Yeah, great to hear that. Because in IT it's always a bit risky, like when people ask something 3 years ago and then, now the world changes so fast, and then you always have a bit this risk that you develop something, right? And then the world just moves on so fast that uh, yeah, been waiting for that. So, okay, great to hear that. Thanks for the for the positive feedback. Yeah, I also think it's very useful. Yeah, all right. Let's go to the next point. Yeah, the SaaS data, the bring your own SaaS. Yeah, it's actually quite simple, right? So here I have my private Ninja account. I don't have the SaaS backup, so basically here also administration apps, add app. Oh no, sorry, the NinjaOne apps, they are by default here. But yeah, you see it disabled when you click. Right, you can see here the information and so on. And when you enable it, you can see here this new option: use an existing Dropsuite account to yeah, so that you don't have to like redeploy or remigrate, etc. We used to have this issue a lot with Bitdefender. I remember that myself. That people had to like redeploy Bitdefender when they wanted to use the NinjaOne integration, so that was not so cool. But yeah, like when we as a vendor NinjaOne enable this, Keeper is like going crazy again. I love Keeper, but this is a bit annoying. Yeah, so this is super useful, I think, and just makes Ninja more plug and play and so on, so more convenient. Also, if you change from some other solution. All right, yeah, I mean, so I'm not gonna do like an entire demo here on the SaaS product, but yeah, this just a quick for those that might not have seen it yet or not have tested it. It's very great. I think this is at some point this is going to be probably more important than endpoint backup. Curious, actually, I don't have a poll prepared here, but please write it in the comments. Do you guys do only SaaS backup of, let's say, Outlook and like the SaaS applications, the big SaaS applications, or do you also do like file and folder backup with endpoint? Um, yeah, would be curious. Yeah, you do both. Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense to do both, especially for the important employees. Yeah. All right. Cloud only. Yeah, it depends on the strategy. I think it's different scenarios. If you're very compliance heavy industry, then probably SaaS only might be not sufficient. If you deal with like as an MSP with very small customers, maybe like some small shop that sells cakes, maybe they don't need the endpoint image backup. But yeah, I think it depends on the environment, on the context. Yeah, you have here a very, I mean, it's not fully integrated. That's never the goal, but yeah, you can see here you have very seamless experience. You can just add your accounts, etc., and then you can do backup of Microsoft 365, Google Workspace, and Entra now. I forgot to mention that Entra backup is also available now. Another feature that is new now in early access, but a very sophisticated feature, has been in development, I think, for quite some time. What I heard in our internal product trainings leverages AI and so on. It's the boot verification. It's a real-time, regular checkup if your image is actually booting properly. So you can be assured, I'm not sure if that's actually a requirement by cybersecurity insurance or compliance, But in any case, I think from an IT administrator perspective, I think sometimes you maybe think in the evening, oh, what would happen if we get attacked, and then you start to feel a bit uncomfortable. I think how do you say that? To get rid of this unease or to soothe this unease, this feeling of unease a little bit, we have this feature now, basically a server feature. So we go into a server policy here, and when we go into backup down here, it's still flagged as a beta feature. I'm not 100% sure if this needs to be activated by account manager or if you already have this option directly with 11.0. Yeah, maybe you might have to go through an account manager to have it activated. Yeah, but basically, yeah, that's how it looks like. Weekly, bi-weekly, monthly is the cadence. So here, just a simple box to tick, basically, not complicated to configure. Then you have in the reporting, you have an overview. Let's go to our reporting. So here we have this wonderful boot verification report. And basically, yeah, also useful, I think, to have a section in backup reporting where you can see, okay, when was the last time? Was it successful? And so on. So definitely a feeling of peace of mind and reassurance, right? When you as an admin run your report and you see all the green check boxes. So here I see Jens comment, I don't have boot verification. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Jens, for posting that. So then we already got the answer here from the community. Yeah, so yeah, typically this is an important feature, boot verification. Again, it's a very technical behind the scenes. There's what I think the Dan Myers, the product management lead, he said there really like thousands of parameters for every different like OS setup, that need to be taken into account and analyzed kind of in real time to be able to do this feature. So like it's just a button to tick, but behind the scenes, it's quite amazing what it does. And this is the reporting. If we go to a organization, we can also see this feature in the backup overview here. So here we have our backups, and you can also see here where I do the boot verification, if it was successful. And here, a little wow effect. When you here you can click this view verification, and now I think if you're a very anxious person and the report doesn't calm you, like the deploying the policy doesn't calm you, if you really want to be sure, then you can also look at this wonderful screenshot of your device. Yes. So that's boot verification. Here, a little question by Lars. Any plans to combine the backup section for endpoint and SaaS? Last time we had a look at backup, it was two separate sections that made it hard to get a proper overview of backup health across an org. Very, very valid very valid question, Lars. Yeah, at the moment, that's a good question. I'm not 100% sure about the roadmap here. I understand that they are separate. I mean, you still have like both tabs here, and you can create the backup reports, but just having them in one dashboard, that will probably be possible when we add more flexible dashboarding. But this needs to be cross-checked though. But yeah, good question. I understand. I understand this remark. Yeah, quick note about the custom fields. I wanted to. I mean, we can deal with this quite quickly. So when we go to organizations, for example, here we have organization custom fields. Here, I just take this one as an example. So you have here inheritance for organization, and then you can inherit the custom field to other devices. And you can also like populate the device information directly, so that, yeah, when you have some kind of token for software deployment purposes or whatever it might be, for whatever automation you wanna use, then basically it transfers from your organization to the inherited categories, for example, device. So if I go into my device search grid, so here I can take a look then. And here I see, so this is basically a custom field, right? So you can see here, like it populates the data here where applicable. Yeah, so this is definitely for the scripting nerds. But for people that are into script automations and so on, that use them more actively, this is a small but very useful improvement. Yeah, the Android enhancements. Let's go into that topic. Here we have specifically. Oh no, sorry, I actually need to go into apps. My bad. For the zero touch for the enrollment profiles, the management of enrollment profiles. Here, MDM Android. So we have these zero touch connections now. So this is new. And here the enrollment profiles, where you can basically, just better scale your MDM deployments, like set a token, do some provisioning settings that will be enabled automatically. Here, enable system apps, mobile network, offline provisioning, script skipping, encryption, etc. So you have these options. You can also add Wi-Fi settings directly with your enrollment profile. And yeah, so here, useful improvement for the Android users. So yeah, I love to see you guys chatting. That's great. I cannot, I'm really bad at multitasking, so it's when you hear me when I stop talking, that's why I take a quick look at the notes at the chat box. Yeah, the next point, small Android iOS improvements. Let's go into a Mac policy. You can actually like in the it can be also sorry, actually I think you can set wallpapers in the restrictions. So here, allow modifying wallpaper. I think, yeah, this is the macOS MDM. Sorry, I think agent policy, Apple iOS restrictions. Yeah, so yeah, we have it both actually on iOS and here, yeah, define it. So this is actually on macOS MDM not possible, it seems, but yeah, on iOS. So setting like define a wallpaper image, yeah, and having this wallpaper configuration management basically directly in your policy. So this is also a new improvement that we have with 11.0. Yeah, now it's already 10 minutes. 10 minutes left till the end. Yeah, it's lots of stuff actually. This is not even all. yeah, you see, 1 hour webinar is not even enough to cover the releases. I think it will be even worse next year. But I think this is positive for all of us. But yeah, I think for the people that work with the product regularly, it's important to really stay up to date on all the new functionality. Let's have a look at some ticketing improvements that we have. Here, let's go into these triggers for automations. So I'm just going to use that one here. So basically what you can do is you can set here conditions, whatever you need, for incoming tickets. So this is obviously not new here. But what you can do now is, as an action, you can auto assign ticket here to people that are less busy because they have the least amount of open tickets. So here you can balance, it allows you to auto assign and balance well the workload, so that you're not like driving one guy into burnout and the other guy is like you drive the other guy and bore out. So you want to have two happy people and not one burned out and one bored out. But yeah, that's the idea. Or longest time since last ticket assigned. So if there's a longer time lapse, since the last ticket was assigned to someone, then yeah, you can use these new rules. And yeah, then also new send notification. Here we have new notifications directly here, not with webhook, but as a kind of native option, Microsoft Teams here in the ticketing directly. Yeah, that's also a new one. I realized that I forgot a big new feature. Sorry for, which is actually the OS deployment. So we have the operating deployment now. So you can download here the launcher. It's not very practical, so I cannot like really demo it right now. But I really, if you are doing OS deployment, yeah, sorry for that, Ian. Yeah, I forgot that. My bad. If you do operating system deployment, then you yeah, download the launcher here, and then basically let's here have a look at the documentation. So you download it, then you can create a bootable media like an ISO file or a Vim file. You can add drivers, like you have to deploy it from a like you can distribute it from a storage, from an attached network storage. That's how it looks like here. And we create it as a Vim file. And then here you have the OS deployment dashboard. So you capture the image. Here, obviously, best practice is to have images the least, like let's say, with the least amount of pre-configured things, to make it more scalable and so on. Like just keep in mind, of course, that you don't need to change your OS image for an application. You can always use NinjaOne to run automations and deploy applications and so on. So that's definitely something, a best practice that you need to be mindful of. Yeah. For a detailed demo, the best is to like don't hesitate to get an appointment with a solution engineer. So we have a big team of solution engineers that have like VMs that can like show it much better than I do, that yeah, can walk you through the process and so on, and that you can chat to directly, right? And instead of sitting in one big webinar. Yeah, no, just quickly. So sorry, I was running now. But here, really, I really consider to, like, if you can download this now here in this library downloads, right? So here you can download. Yeah, you have very detailed in the dojo. When you go to the dojo, you have very detailed documentation there. Also directly from this launcher, there's also directly a link to the documentation. So the documentation is well linked. So have a quick look and then book an appointment with a solution engineer. Yeah, PSA. Just briefly, also PSA is a feature for MSPs. So this concerns MSPs. We have here a big change that we have is the possibility to use the PSA without QuickBooks Online. So this was mandatory up until 11.0. So you were not able to use NinjaOne PSA if you don't connect a QuickBooks Online account. So this is not the case anymore. So here it might be even interesting to use the NinjaOne PSA not as just to use the time capturing in combination with the NinjaOne ticketing, right? So maybe you do the billing even otherwise, but you want to have the reports on your time entries, so that might make sense. We will also add the API so that you can automatically link it, so that you can automate it and link it to other accounting tools. The zero, the next to QuickBooks Online, the zero integration goes into early access beginning of next year. What else is important for PSA? Also, one feature for PSA. I hear a question about the ETA for PSA API. Yeah, it's. I actually discussed. I asked this the product manager. We try for 12.0 for the API, but it might slip into 13.0 for the PSA API. So yeah, and another feature that was very important, I know, for MSPs that are not 100% on a managed service setup is that you have block time also in your NinjaOne PSA. That means people can buy a block of 20 hours. Your customers can buy a block of 20 hours, and then it's like every time they use an hour, like it's discounted from that block of hours, and then they can carry over into the next month. So this is also possible now with 11.0 in the NinjaOne PSA. And you can also export the invoice data by CSV. So you could technically also, like if you're a small MSP, you can export it and upload it into your into another tool. So that's also a possibility. Yeah, dark mode. It's crazy. I know. I understand dark mode is much easier on the eyes. I totally get that. Dark mode is actually, it's not sure if it's not GA yet, but don't hesitate to ask for it. I think it can definitely be activated. So yep. Jeremy asked a question about the policy management. Actually, we're an MSP and have some customers who are technicians to manage their own devices. Is there a way to let them create a new policy without gaining access to other policies? It's not possible to let them create a new policy, but you can manage the access to policies and you can give them access to their policy, their customer policies. You can maybe work with policy inheritance, right? You have your master policy as an MSP. Then you have an inherited policy. You can give a limited access to your customer to only that policy with the possibility to update that policy. And then the person won't see any other policies from any other customers. So that way it would work. Yes. All right. I see people, I know everyone is busy. So like we are on time now. Dark mode is coming. I know it's like from a subjective level, it's the most popular feature. I have the impression. But yeah, it was very nice having you here. So thanks a lot for joining the webinar. Thanks a lot for your questions, for your active discussion in the chat. I wish everyone a wonderful evening or wonderful day for the ones that are maybe not based in Europe. And then we'll catch up soon. Looking forward to the next webinar. Bye bye, everyone.